All right, here we go. So what we're doing here, I just washed my hair, and I'm just going through popping my locks. That's my after wash routine in between retwists. This video is from I want to say September, maybe October. But before this, I hadn't had a retwist since July 19th. And even as me speaking right now, it's November 8th, and I still ain't had a retwist. So, but yeah, I'm just going through, separating the locks. I'm feeling my way through. I'm going through blind right now. This is just how I do it. Sometimes I have my girl do it, and she'll oil my scalp, at the same time. But, I decided to have her hold the camera, and I'll do it to give y'all the inside tips. And as you can see in my hair, you can see there's a slight color difference. I have not dyed my hair, and I don't really plan on doing it either. Because of this reason, my hair gets light in the summer. It gets like that light brown on the tips. You can see that was a good pop right there. That was a nice one. She finally told me to slow down, so I give y'all better views. There it is. Boom, get that. You gotta get those out, or you're gonna get them Congos. Now, if you're freeforming, you let them rock out. And if you're semi-freeforming, this is what you do. You just separate, but you don't twist. I ain't doing either of those. Mine will be maintained. I just like having like the grown out froey look. I don't like being all scalpy. I ain't freeforming. I ain't semi-freeforming. I'm gonna definitely get another retwist at some point. It's just right now I'm not. Because I don't like being really scalpy. I like having the fro underneath my locks and having it look like this. But what I was saying about, my hair getting lighter, the sun actually turns my hair like that light brown color in the summer when I be outside. So I ain't really dyeing my hair. I'm going to just let it rock out naturally. And as you can see, it takes a while to get through it all. You got to go through. Well, when I'm doing it, when I'm popping my locks, I'm going through. I'm trying to get it from every angle. Oh, and you got to shake it. Listen, the shakeout, you think people with dreads just like shaking them. I mean, of course we do. But the shakeout is a part of the process, man. When I first started and I was doing, just the finger curls, that was the way I got the hair to separate by itself when it was really short. So even when you pop it and you separate them, shaking it out helps that separation even more. In my opinion, anyway. That's what I like to do for mine. Here we go. He's having issues with the camera. It wasn't focusing. But, still want to give you all the angles possible. Show you what the process looks like. That's a good one. Now, you see how you can see down to my scalp? Like, that's because when I'm washing my hair or, even when I just wet it in the shower, I'm still, throughout the day separating my locks so they're not congoing up because, I don't want that. I do have some that are Congo, but that's just because I started with the sponge. And when you start with the sponge, from that Hightop, from that box, you're going to get some that are very, very small because I didn't have a loctician start my locks. I started them with the sponge. And then just the curls that the sponge created, I twisted those in the locks and let them grow out. But some of them, towards the back and on the sides to where I couldn't see what the part looked like. I had to just feel it out and decide for myself, do I want to lock this thick? Some of them came out really small. So when that happened, I combined some of those. And, the locks that you see with dread jewelry on them, those are ones I've combined. Now, not all my Congos have jewelry on them because I didn't want to overdo it, but those ones you see on there were the first ones I combined. It was like 6 of them, something like that. But yeah, you see it going through down to the scalp. You got to separate them. I know a lot of people, grow them out and they decide after a while, the maintain thing ain't really for me. And they decide to freeform. I don't know why that is. I don't know whether it's they feel like their roots are thinning from the retwist, or they don't like the thickness of their locks. They like the thickness you get with that freeform look. Because when you twisting versus freeform, there's definitely a difference in the thickness you get from the lock. Because when you're twisting it, you're twisting the hair but elongating it at the same time. And when you freeform, you're just letting that hair coil and compact and knot up on its own. So the hair is not really being stretched out while it's being twisted. In the free form, the hair is, really dense. It's being condensed, into the lock, and it's basically growing up into a fro and then matting out. But when you're twisting it, you're basically stretching that hair out, pulling it out with a comb or with your fingers or whatever, and then you're twisting it up. So, that leads to a huge difference in size of your locks and thickness of your locks, versus you got maintain twisting the locks versus free forming the locks. Your part size also comes into a play for the thickness. But, even with part sizes like this small, if I were to just let them, free form, they would have Congoed up. They wouldn't have stayed that size. So it doesn't matter. As you can see, when I'm doing this, when I'm popping, I think of how my parts are in my head, and I like to start from one side and go to the other, and just do them like in rows, like cornrows, basically. You know what I mean? Like I'll start with the very side, and I'll pop those, and I'll go up a row, and I'll just do that, across my whole head from side to side. Kind of like what you're seeing right now. How I've split it down the middle. But, for this video, I was just being random with it, very arbitrary, just grabbing, pulling at the hair, seeing what locks. Look at that dog, man, he's crazy. That's the bunk for all y'all. That's the bunkins. But yeah, what I like to do is I just tug on a couple locks, and if I feel any locks moving with that lock, then I know, some of them loose hairs at the roots have started to come together. And I gotta pull them apart. It's crazy because that really only happens in the shower. After I pop them and I let it, and I oil it and I let it go for weeks, I don't have locks just congoing up from me wearing my cap or me sleeping on it. That's not really when it happens. It's really mainly when I wet it, that the hair starts to congo up. So if anybody out there worried about, wetting your hair or anything like that, just know when you wet it, it helps it lock up even more. So if you just got starter locks and you just starting and you 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month in, go ahead and wash them joints, bro. They're going to be all right. They're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are going to come loose, especially if they're starters. But all you got to do is, do a little spot maintenance, twist up, 2 or 3 of them, and the rest of your head will be fine. The water washing it is going to help your hair lock faster. So here I'm giving y'all a quick 360 locks. This ain't even quick, actually. It's a long 360. I'm letting this marinate for y'all so y'all can see every angle. Because, that helped me when I was growing my locks out, to find somebody who I thought had the same hair texture as me and, had the size of locks I wanted. It helped me to, see as many pictures and as many angles of their hair as I could to, start the locks up myself. Plus this being my 4th set of locks, I pretty much knew, what to expect anyway. But yo, when we do 360s, can we stop naming the sides? Like, we know it's the right side of your head. We know it's the back. Like, we know it's the left side. You don't got to label the sides when you're doing the 360. Maybe that's just a pet peeve of mine, but that's ridiculous. Come on. We got to stop that. But as you can see, that side, that bottom row down there, it gets real puffy down there. I grew some hair out, to add to them locks because that bottom row on the side was really thin. You'll see it here shortly. You see I'm growing out some more hair because I want that line around my head. I want that to be a straight line. So when my hair is long down the road and I pull it up, there's a straight line from, my bottom row of locks to where, my undercut starts, the fade starts. I need that line to be crispy. I need to be tight because I got, OCD from keeping it a buck with y'all. And I'm just not looking at my shit being all jaggy like that. I'm not having it. But, here go a little lock drop for y'all. Sometimes when I'm looking at my hair, I'm like, do I want these to be thicker? I knew they were going to be really thin when I started them as they were growing out. But I figured, down the line, I could just combine them and make them thicker. I got like 130 locks. So even if I combine them, I'm down to like 70, 80, And I say that because not all of them need combined. And not because I'm bad at math,
You can only write your story. Now keep on adding to your story. Who else can do this for me? Now go ahead and tell